Good morning. Good morning. Today's topic is going to be one of the principles I live by, which is sowing. There's a season for sowing. There's a season for reaping. I guess a quick, good backstory on that. See, I grew up in Jamaica on a farm. You know, my grandparents, I grew up with them. They're actually where the name Wilby come from. That's my grandparents' name. My last name is Tucker. But, you know, they had acres and acres of land. And as a kid, it's like, you know, part of my job was to go to the farm with them and so forth. And, you know, I help out, you know, as little kids, we used to, you know, when they bring the farmers to the farm, they dig up the land, plow the land, basically. Part of my job as a kid was to plant, like, you know, throw the seeds down. And, you know, as little kids, we learn not to cover it up too deep or too shallow. And, of course, water it so it can grow over time. You know, so growing up on a farm firsthand, this principle really hit home for me because it makes a lot of sense. Okay, and what this principle is going to teach you is patience. You know, a lot of people, especially nowadays, especially here in the U.S., like we want stuff like yesterday. Okay, you go through the drive-thru, if they take too long, you dang near irritated. So, my point is understanding the concept of the seasons of sowing the seeds and reaping. You know, definitely helped me to be a lot more patient when it comes to my goals. So with that being said, the whole idea, the concept is that you got to understand that, of course, reaping is the reward. Sowing the seed is the work you got to put in to get the reward that you want. So, you know, it's like for those of you right now that already have goals already written out that you've been working on, great. If anything, at this point, it's just going to help you double down on figuring out, okay, what seeds can I plant that's going to help me get the reward that I want? And being more practical with that, I mean, like, what actions is the seeds, basically? The seeds is your actions. What actions can I take now that will produce the result, which is the reaping of the crop later, you know? So obviously you can have a lot of seeds in there. You can be listening to audios. You can be listening to, you know, motivational speakers. You can be listening to these videos that I'm posting every day. Anything that feeds your mind and allow you to really, you know, that triggers your thoughts. Anything that triggers your thoughts, those are the seeds you want to plant, because as it triggers your thoughts, it's going to help you to formulate the ideas and the plans to accomplish your goal, you know? And you just start with what you know, whatever that is. It's like, okay, the easiest thing, like I said, for now is, you know, find a motivational speaker that you really like. You know, you definitely need motivation along the way, people. So that's why I say you must find, I would say, at least 2 or 3 people that really inspire and motivate you. Like I said, for me in the beginning, it was Les Brown and Tony Robbins. Those were my 2 favorite, you know, motivational guys. But they're there to get you going, you know what I mean? To get you that motivation until you can develop it yourself, you know? But if you don't have it in the beginning, believe me, it's okay. You know, that's the way I used to, you know, keep my motivation going, because there's only 2 real things that you really need in order to win and accomplish anything. It's motivation and desire, you know, and you're going to hear me say that over and over again, because without the desire for something bigger or more, you know, you can't even find the motivation, because there's no space to grow. And I've already covered that in previous lessons, but again, the topic for today is there's a season for planting your seeds, and then there's a season for reaping your crops. You got to ask yourself on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, what seeds could I be planting today? What actions could I be taking today that's going to produce seeds or a crop later, you know? So that's the first part of it. The second part of it, and this is where patience comes in, is that as a farmer and growing up on a farm, see, I learned that, you know, when you plant something, there's a period for incubation, you know. Certain crops take 3 months, some could take, you know, 6 months, you know, and some is quicker. It just really depends on what the heck you're planting, you know what I mean? And that's why you got to figure out the seeds you want to plant. But the bottom line is, don't expect the result or the end result, to happen too quickly. You got to give it the incubation period that is required depending on your goal. You have goals like, my goal right now is I have 9 years left. So that's the incubation period for me to be the worst, be the world's first trillionaire. Whatever your goal is, there's an incubation period for it. And really it's more or less the timeline that you set, okay? Something else too that I want to mention about that when it comes to goals is, see, depending on how big your goal is, if you got a small goal, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Damn it, it's a goal. Obviously you get there a lot quicker than somebody that have, a really big goal. You know what I mean? But my point is, whatever incubation period you have, whatever time period you give yourself, allot yourself for that, I've given this example a couple times. It's like people when they start business, and that's one of the reasons why they fail is because they expect success like really quick, even for myself, for years, I used to be frustrated. I give something a chance for 6 months, and if it wasn't making me a lot of money, I'll get frustrated or kick it to the curb, or just quit basically and try to start something else. But my point is that for you, before you go into anything, I want you to look at it from a bird's eye view. Just really think about it overall. What is your goal? Once you figure your goal, how long is it realistically going to take for you to get there? Realistically in the sense that only because you know how much energy and effort you're willing to put in. If you're not willing to put in the work to get this big goal, don't expect it in a short period of time. You got to just set timeline based on what you're willing to put in, how much work you're willing to put in, and as long as you're willing to put in the work and you're consistent, that's another thing, guys, consistency. With sowing the seed is, you got to be consistent. You got to consistently water. Whew, that's a good one. There you go. You plant the seeds and you water it, man. You water it every day. Every day you pour a little water on it. That's you adding to it, by simply, just finding things that can help you move forward in that regards, whether it's meeting people that, like that's another thing, finding mentors, man. If you have people readily available that can help you in that space, whatever your goal is. If you can't find them locally, hey, find them through YouTube, man. That's where I find Bob Proctor and all these other people that have mentored me over the years. So that's you watering, your seeds so it can grow. That's you taking care of your seed is your goal. You water it every day until, it matures. And again, just be patient in that regards. But again, the concept is sowing is the season for sowing, and there's a season for reaping. So again, just be patient and focus on. For me, I'm always sowing seeds. I'm sowing seeds in pretty much everybody I meet. Even right now, I'm sowing seeds. I'm sowing into your life. The information I'm sharing with you, I'll be honest, I'm telling you, I call it infinite intelligence. I mean, I didn't go to school for this stuff, man. It just pours out of me. But I know that the stuff I say, in my experience, especially over the last year, they've all come to pass. And, for myself. And that's why I know this stuff works. And I know as you're hearing it, again, this is me planting my seed. Again, I mentioned it a while back. I said, you're my product. Your success is mine. The more successful I make you, the more successful I become. The laws I follow is just universal laws. These are not man-made laws. Like karma, given to receive. These are not man-made laws. These are God's of the universe laws. So I really aim to live my life as congruent with nature as possible. Even when I talk about business to people, I talk about business flowing like water, That's God's element, man. You know what I mean? And for anything to flow, you got to be, a problem solver and all that other stuff, so I can remove blockage along the way, so my water can always be flowing. Again, all I'm doing every day literally is just finding things about nature, about universal laws, just like how the law of gravity is certain. We know something goes up and must come down. It's the same way with these laws. If you plant something, a seed, and you water it, take care of it, it's bound to grow. that's just the facts of life. Everything around us is growing, you know, or dying, depending on what you're feeding it. Positive energy causes it to grow. Negative energy causes it to die, So that's why it's so critical and important to stay positive, intentionally, because positivity breeds life, negativity breeds death towards your goals or whatever that is. Anyways, again, the topic for today is just knowing that there's 2 seasons in your life, just like a farmer. There's the season for you sowing seeds, which is what you want to do in all areas of your life. What is the seed, the goal for your family? What is the seed for your financial situation? I already suggested a business. Why? Because that's the easiest vehicle I know that I can and will teach you to use. All areas. What do you, for yourself even, you know what I mean? But my point is, be sowing seed. Always be sowing seed. And just think positively about them. And that's you watering them and taking action every day. And I guarantee you, without fail-safe, it will happen. It have to happen. That's nature's law. Anyways, thank you guys. Y'all have an amazing day.